Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a DVD review of PWG's As the Worm Turns. This is a great show, and I've been waiting for the show to come out for a long time. It took place back in February. This is where Davey Richards defeated Kenny Omega to win the PWG Championship. The whole show was very, very fun to watch. I'd say it was better than Kurt WrestleMania for me. Not by far, but I think it was the better show. And let me say, PWG. They're clicking on all cylinders. This is by far the most consistent promotion in the U.S. right now. Every single show is stacked and it always delivers. It's kind of really not fair to compare ROH to PWG because one promotion runs 35 shows a year, the other promotion runs about 12. So, but this is great. Everything is clicking for them. The commentary, Excalibur on commentary, very, very funny, very. Just easy to sit through. The audio is good. The crowds have been great. Over the last couple years as well. So let's get right down to the show. First match we had Johnny Goodtime and Jerome LTP Robinson taking on Malachi Jackson and Ryan Taylor. This is good. This is a solid 3-star match. This is these are more of the type of matches that PWG is going to have to focus on down the road. They're homegrown talent. Just putting them in a match and letting them go. This time they weren't jammed to the same match with 6 or 7 guys, so we got a nice solid tag match. Really enjoyed this. This had a very, very solid finish with LTP. I think LTP hit like a corkscrew moonsault, or it's kind of like a spiral tap. That's sort of like the same thing that AJ does. Just had a great finish, and and it's not like the fans don't give a shit about these guys. They're connecting very well with the fans. The fans care. They care about the whole show from top to bottom. So this was good. This was very, very surprisingly good. Next up we have Brandon Gatson taking on Scott Lost. You guys remember Brandon Gatson put on a great showing back at Bola 2009. He has a great look. He kind of reminds me of Jack Swagger a little bit. Not the way he wrestles, but his look. He's got that. He's pretty big. Well, he's pretty big for an independent wrestler, and he's got the blonde hair like Swagger. So. Him and Scott Lost had a pretty solid match. Both of these guys are pretty much future PWG champions. I think a lot of people can agree with that. I think they definitely do have the talent. This was kind of short, a little bit on the short side, but great action. I'm sorry, Brandon Gatson did a lot of acrobatic stuff out there, and just good stuff, but a little bit on the short side, but still good enough to reach the 3-star level. That's just me. Next up, we had Chris Sabin taking on Roderick Strong. This is the first time. I believe the first time these guys have met, at least in a long time. I mean, I know they tried to put this match together back at Bola, but Chris Sabin had an injured neck, so they couldn't make that happen. But this was pretty much great. This was a solid 3.5 stars. Great action, very, very fast paced. Crowd was really, really into it. Some of the great spots. Sabin was wrestling a very fast paced match. He went for a Yakuza. And then Roderick just caught his leg in midair and just countered that right into a backbreaker. Roderick just did some sick, backbreakers and gut busters. We usually see Roderick do it, but he pulled out a lot of them in this match. Very, very stiff, as you would expect. Just great stuff. A solid 3.5 stars. I mean, it could have went a little bit longer maybe, but just great action. Next up, we had Brandon Bonham, Candice, LeRae, and Joey Ryan taking on Christina, Erie, and the Cutlers brothers. This was, PWG does a great job with these intergender tag team matches. Crowd usually enjoys them. They are very fun to watch, and great action. I like the finish to this match. I think what was her name? Christina, Candice LeRae actually did the mustache ride to Christina Erie off the top rope. That was a nice finish, and. Like I said, the intergender matches, this is something different. We usually don't see this in ROH, so that was nice to see. Next up, we had Chris Hero taking on Alex Shelley. This was good, a little bit on the short side. Alex Shelley actually had a herniated disc in his back, so he had to wear a lot of padding, so you probably noticed that. But this was good, it was solid. Hero's been pretty consistent over the last couple of years, and this match is no different. It was really, really good. Well, they packed in a lot for the time that it went. This might have only went maybe 8 or 9 minutes, but it had a lot of nice near falls. Chris Hero actually took off his elbow, blasted Alex Shelley right in the face with the the bare elbow with no padding on it. At least it looked that way. It looked like he. The sound was crazy. Crowd really popped for it too, and you know, Hero. Actually, Hero did go over here, and the reason I'm telling you that is because after the match, Shelley and Hero got on the mic and talked about how he has a lot of respect for Alex Shelley. I talked about how this is their first singles match in about 6 years, how he remembered when Alex Shelley used to pay his dues in Detroit, putting up the ring and all that stuff. So yeah, Chris Hero showed a lot of class. This was a great promo to end this match. The match will probably give it like a solid 3 1/4 stars. So next up we had the Young Bucks taking on El Generico and Chuck Taylor. Now El Generico and Chuck Taylor have been feuding with each other over the last year, but I'm not so sure. I might have missed it, but now they were together for this match. Took on the Young Bucks for the tag team championships. The Young Bucks been the champions for a while, maybe going on 2 years now. I'm not sure, but this is good. You know, this is your typical stuff. I'd probably give it 3 3/4 stars. I thought Chuck Taylor played a good babyface here. He hit a lot of you know, suicidal offense, a lot of stuff that he usually doesn't do. Generico looked great, as he always does. Generico was just very reliable, and you know, Young Bucks were getting under the fans' skin. You know, they were saying they kept calling each other Generation Me, or they kept calling themselves Generation Me, which the fans didn't like. So it was good. It was a great match. You know, it's, like not one of the better Young Bucks matches that we've seen, but you know, still great stuff. Next up, we had the main event. This was awesome. This is amazing. You know, we just saw Kenny Omega and Davey Richards have a classic at the Epic Encounter 3, an ROH show that took place back in March. But so this match actually took place a month prior to this, and this was amazing. I mean, this is one of the best matches I've ever. I mean, it's one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. Maybe not one of the. I'm not going to say it's a 5-star match. I'm going to say it's a high 4.5 stars. I think I like this match a little bit more than their ROH match, and in many ways, this is probably the best match that they've had. You know, considering the fact that the PWG title was on the line, the crowd was really hot for it. I think Davey Richards was pretty much the favorite in this match. You know, more people wanted him to win than Omega, but they did everything here. You know, the submission wrestling was off the chain. You know, Omega looked great. So did Davey Richards. I mean, they pulled out everything. I mean, everything that you know you're accustomed to these two gentlemen doing, they pretty much did. Just an excellent match. You know, I can't say enough about it. The crowd was this had one of the best crowds I've heard in a long time for a match. So definitely, if you're not a PWG fan, this is a great show to start with. I guarantee you'll be definitely satisfied with the show. If you're not satisfied with the undercard, I guarantee you'll be satisfied with the main event. So Davey Richards, the new PWG champion, made Kenny Omega tap out to a cross arm breaker. So it's pretty much what it was. And so one more look, PWG as the worm turns.